Born with nothing but a dream to learn. My name is Sithu. This is my story. I was born in the toilet of a train station. It was cold. It was dirty. It was dark. My mother was alone. She had no family. She had no help. People said she was crazy. They called her the madwoman. She did not speak clearly. She laughed and cried at the same time. She didn't know who my father was. And I didn't know what it meant to be a child. My first bed was the floor. My first sound was the train whistle. We lived with nothing. We had no house. No clothes. No food. We walked the streets every day. We begged for rice. Sometimes we got a little. Sometimes we went to sleep hungry. My mother held my hand and sang songs. They didn't make sense, but I remember them. I remember her voice. One day, a woman from the market saw us. She gave us bananas. She gave us water. She smiled at my mother and me. That small smile stayed in my heart for many years. It gave me hope. Hope was something I could not see, but I could feel. As I grew older, I worked in car repair shops. I cleaned the floor. I carried tools. My hands were always dirty. My stomach was always empty. But my mind was full of dreams. I wanted to learn. I didn't want to beg forever. I wanted to speak. I wanted to understand. The owner's children sat in the corner of the shop and studied. They spoke English. Their voices were soft, but I listened. I listened like it was music. I didn't have a book. I didn't have a pen. But I had ears. And I had a dream. Every day, I listened to their words. I repeated them quietly. I made mistakes. I said things wrong. But I didn't stop. I learned one word. Then another. Then a sentence. I didn't go to school, but the world became my school. The walls became my classroom. The voices became my teachers. And now, I speak English. I teach English to poor children. I help them believe. I help them speak. I give them the one thing I had, a dream. This is my story. I was born with nothing. But I never stopped dreaming. I never stopped learning. And I never gave up. Let's learn English together with this simple story. You are not alone. You are stronger than you think. And your dream can begin today. Chapter 1: A boy with no father, no home. I was born in a place where no baby should be born. Not in a hospital. Not in a house. Not in a clean room. I was born in the toilet of a train station. Yes, a cold, dirty toilet where people came and went, not even stopping to look. My mother was alone. There was no nurse. No doctor. No father. Only pain, and me. My mother was not like other mothers. People said she was mad. They said her mind was broken. She talked to the wind. She smiled at the sky. She sat beside the road and laughed, then cried. She didn't know who made her pregnant. Nobody knew. She didn't even know she was going to have a baby. That baby was me. People looked at her and walked away. They didn't want to see. They didn't want to help. My mother had no family. She had no home. She had no name. And now, she had a baby in her arms. I opened my eyes for the first time in that toilet. I cried, but no one heard me. No one cared. My first breath smelled of smoke and old water. My first blanket was a dirty cloth from the train floor. We had nothing. No food. No bed. No place to stay. My mother sat in the corner of the station and held me. I was small and weak. She didn't know how to care for a baby. She didn't speak to anyone. She just looked at me and smiled, that strange, broken smile. And yet, we were alive. That was the beginning. Not a happy beginning. Not a lucky one. But the beginning. We slept beside the tracks. We ate whatever people gave us, cold rice, half a banana, old bread. My mother sang songs to me. I didn't understand the words. Maybe she didn't either. But she sang every night. Her voice was soft and strange, like a dream you don't remember. People laughed at her. They said bad things. Some called her crazy. Some threw stones. But one day, a woman from the market came near. She looked at my mother and looked at me. And she didn't walk away. That woman gave us food. Sometimes she gave us water. Sometimes she gave us old clothes. My mother smiled at her. The woman didn't say much, but her kindness was loud. She didn't give us a home, but she gave us something else, hope. So, I grew up with no father. No real mother. No house. No school. I didn't have toys. I didn't have friends. But I had eyes. I watched. I listened. I dreamed. This was the start of my life, a boy with no name, no father, and no home. But even from the dirty floor of a train station, I began to dream of a better life. Let's keep learning English together, as the story continues. Chapter 2, The Madwoman and the Market Lady. I never knew the name of my mother. People just called her the Madwoman. Some were afraid of her. Some laughed at her. Some threw stones. She wore dirty clothes. Her hair was always wild. She walked without shoes. She talked to trees, to dogs, to shadows. But to me, she was just Mama. Mama did not speak like other people. Her words were mixed. Sometimes soft, sometimes loud. She didn't know how to care for a baby, but she held me close. She gave me all she had, even if all she had was love from a broken heart. We lived in the train station. We begged for food. Some days we got lucky. Some days we did not eat. I remember sitting on the ground beside Mama. My hands were small. My stomach was empty. But my eyes were open. I saw everything. Every morning, women came to the market near the train station. They sold bananas, fish, onions, rice. They wore long skirts and smiled at customers. They were loud. Strong. Busy. One woman saw us. She looked at Mama with big, careful eyes. She didn't run away. She didn't yell. She stopped. The first time, she gave us 2 bananas. Mama laughed. I smiled. The second time, She gave us rice in a plastic bag. She didn't say much. Just, here. But her voice was kind. Not like the others. The market lady came again the next day. And the next. She brought us food. Water. One day, she brought a small blanket. She never asked for anything back. She never told Mama to go away. And Mama started to smile more when she saw her. The market lady didn't become our family. But she became a light, a small light in a very dark place. Sometimes, the woman sat with Mama. She didn't care that people stared. She gave Mama a comb. One time, she tried to wash her hair. Mama laughed, but she let her. It was the first time someone touched my mother with care. The market lady also looked at me. She didn't speak in a baby voice. She just smiled and said, "Stay strong." I didn't understand much English then. But I understood her eyes. Her voice. Her kindness. Because of her, we were not completely invisible. Because of her, I knew that not all people hated us. Two women shaped my early life. One was broken, her mind lost in another world. The other was kind, her heart strong in this one. And I was just a small boy, sitting between them, learning about pain, about love, and about hope. That market lady never knew what she started. But her kindness would grow inside me like a seed. And one day, that seed would grow into something powerful. A dream to learn, and to change my life. Let's keep learning English together, one chapter at a time. Chapter 3, Begging to Survive, Day by Day. When I was very small, I thought life was just like that, sitting on the floor with my mother, waiting for someone to give us food. We didn't have a house. We didn't have a bed. We didn't have clean clothes. We didn't live. We survived. Mama held my hand as we walked through the market. She talked to herself. She laughed at things I could not see. People moved away when they saw us. Some gave us old bread. Some gave us nothing. Some shouted at us to leave. I was too young to be angry. I only felt hungry. We begged every day. My mother sat on a piece of cloth beside the road. She held out her hand. I sat beside her, tired and quiet. Sometimes she sang songs. Sometimes she cried. I didn't know the difference. People walked past us, rich, poor, happy, sad. Most didn't stop. Some gave coins. One man gave a bottle of water. One old lady gave a boiled egg. That was a lucky day. We never knew what we would eat. Some days, I ate banana peels or leftover rice from the trash. Mama gave me her share when we had only a little. She always gave me everything first. Even when she was weak, even when she was sick, she still said, "Eat, my son." I didn't understand her sickness, but I understood her love. At night, we looked for a place to sleep. Sometimes it was the train station floor. Sometimes under a tree. When it rained, we covered ourselves with plastic bags. The sound of the rain was loud, but our stomachs were louder. Still, we survived. I remember the smell of smoke from the night fires in the market. The sound of dogs barking. The cold floor under my feet. I remember the way my mother looked at the stars. I asked her, "What are they?" She said, "Little lights that never give up." I didn't know what she meant then, but now I do. Even though we had nothing, I started to feel something inside. A small voice that whispered, "There must be more than this. You are meant for something more." I didn't know how. I didn't know when. But that voice stayed with me, through every cold night and every hungry morning. That was my life, begging to survive, day by day. But inside me, a dream was growing. Quietly. Slowly. Strongly. Chapter 4, Fixing Cars, but Dreaming Big. As I got older, I started working. I could not go to school, but I had to help my mother and myself survive. One day, a man from the market said, "Come with me. You can help in my garage." I did not know what a garage was, but I said yes. I followed him. That day changed my life. The garage was hot, noisy, and full of tools I didn't understand. It smelled like oil, metal, and dust. My job was to clean the floor, carry heavy boxes, and bring tools to the mechanics. I was small and quiet. I listened more than I spoke. I worked from early morning to late night. My hands were always black with oil. My clothes were always dirty. Sometimes, I forgot to eat. But I didn't complain. I was happy to have work. I was happy to have a little food. And deep inside, I was also happy to see something new. Something bigger than the station. Something different than begging. At the garage, I saw people fixing broken cars. But what I didn't expect was to see something else: books. Yes, the owner's children came to the garage after school. They sat in the corner and did their homework. I watched them while I cleaned. I listened to them read English words. I heard them say things like, "My name is. This is a cat. I can run. I can jump." At first, it was just background noise. But slowly, my ears began to open. The sounds became interesting. The words began to stick in my mind. I didn't know how to read. I didn't know how to write. But I listened. And I repeated. Every day, I fixed cars, but in my heart, I was dreaming big. I dreamed of understanding those English words. I dreamed of speaking them myself. No one knew. No one saw. But while I cleaned tools and changed tires, I was also building something inside. A dream. A future. A new life. My stomach was hungry. My body was tired. But my mind was waking up. I didn't know it yet, but the garage was becoming my first school. Chapter 5, I heard the children study. So I listened. While I cleaned the garage, I noticed something special. Every day, the garage owner's children sat in the corner with books and notebooks. They were doing homework. They were reading stories and writing answers. At first, I did not understand anything. The letters looked strange. The words were too fast. But I listened. Quietly. Carefully. They had books. I had ears. While I worked with my hands, I opened my ears like a student in a classroom. I was not supposed to listen. No one asked me to learn. No one even looked at me. But I listened anyway. When they read out loud, I stopped what I was doing. I stood close and pretended to clean, but I was really learning. I am a boy. She is my mother. We go to school every day. These sentences were short, but they were like gold to me. I didn't know how to spell them. I didn't know what grammar was. But I repeated them in my head again and again. I spoke the words in the dark at night. I whispered them while I walked home. I didn't have a teacher. I didn't have a book. But I had a strong mind and a dream. Sometimes, I looked at the children's books when they weren't around. I didn't understand everything, but I looked at the pictures. I guessed the words. I used my eyes like a student, and my heart was always open. I learned one word. Then another. Then another. I started to understand small things. When the children laughed, I knew why. When they read, I knew what came next. I was learning English not in school, but in secret. I had never been in a classroom. But I had found my own way to learn. I was the boy from the train station. The boy with nothing. But I was becoming the boy who never gave up. Chapter 6, Every Word I Heard. I remembered. I was just a worker in a garage. I had no school. I had no books. I had no desk, no teacher, no lessons. But I had something powerful, my ears, and a dream that refused to die. The owner's children kept coming every day. They sat with their books. They read slowly, and sometimes fast. I could not ask them questions. I could not sit beside them. But I was always close enough to hear. And every word I heard, I remembered. My name is Anna. I like apples. He goes to school. Simple words. Small sentences. But for me, they were treasure. I listened with all my heart. I repeated each word in my mind again and again, like a song I didn't want to forget. Sometimes I would close my eyes and whisper it softly when no one was around. I didn't care if my pronunciation was wrong. I didn't care if I made mistakes. I just wanted to learn. Every new word was like a brick. And with each brick, I was building a new life, one word at a time. At night, when I lay down beside my mother, I said the words again. Sometimes she smiled. Sometimes she didn't understand. But I kept going. My pillow was the ground. My blanket was the sky. But my dream was bigger than both. I didn't have a notebook. So I wrote the words in my heart. I didn't have a teacher. So I became my own teacher. One word today. One sentence tomorrow. One dream for the future. Other people looked at me and saw a poor boy. A dirty boy. A boy with no chance. But I knew something they didn't know. I was learning English. Slowly, silently, and with more heart than they could ever see. And I promised myself this. Every word I hear, I will never forget. One day, I will speak. One day, I will teach. One day, they will listen to me. Chapter 7, I spoke slowly. I made mistakes. But I kept going. I still remember the first time I tried to speak English out loud. I was alone, sweeping the garage floor. The owner's children had just finished reading their lesson. I waited until they left. Then I repeated the words I had heard. This is my pen. I am a boy. She goes to school. My voice was small. I was afraid. I didn't know how to say the words perfectly. My mouth felt heavy. My tongue moved slowly.
The sounds felt strange.
I made mistakes. But I didn't stop. I said each sentence again. And again. And again. I wanted to get better. I wanted to feel the words, not just hear them. So I spoke, even if no one was listening. Sometimes I said a word 5 times. 10 times. More. Sometimes I got it wrong. But sometimes, just sometimes, it sounded right. And that small success gave me hope. One day, a mechanic heard me. He laughed. "Are you trying to be a teacher now?" he said. I looked down. My face felt hot. But deep inside, I thought, yes. One day, I will be. Another day, a customer heard me whispering English while cleaning. He said, "You? English?" And he laughed too. But I smiled. Because even their laughter couldn't stop me. I was learning. Slowly. Alone. With no one to correct me. But I kept going. I said, "He go to school." Then I learned to say, "He goes to school." I said, "I is happy." Then I learned, "I am happy." Every mistake was a step. Every step brought me closer to my dream. Speaking was hard. But not speaking would mean giving up. And I never wanted to give up. Not after coming this far. My grammar was broken. My pronunciation was bad. But my heart was full. And that was enough to keep going. One sentence at a time. One mistake at a time. One dream, growing bigger every day. Chapter 8, People laughed at me. But I believed in myself. When I was learning English, not everyone was kind. Some people laughed at me. They said, "Why do you try? You are poor. You don't have a school. You don't speak well." Their words were like stones. They hurt. They made me feel small. Sometimes, I wanted to stop. I wanted to hide. I wanted to be invisible again. But something inside me was stronger than their words. I believed in myself. I believed that my dreams were bigger than their laughter. I believed that one day, I would speak English well. I believed that one day, I would teach children. I believed that my life would change. Every time someone laughed, I said to myself, I am not the boy from the train station anymore. I am a learner. I am a dreamer. I am strong. I did not have a teacher to tell me, "You can do it." So I told myself every day, "You can do it." Their laughter did not stop me. It made me work harder. It made my heart stronger. I practiced speaking. I practiced reading. I practiced writing even if my letters were crooked. Slowly, my English got better. Slowly, my voice got louder. Slowly, I stopped listening to the laughter. And I started listening to my own voice. The voice of hope. The voice of courage. The voice of a boy who would never give up. Chapter 9, One day. I could understand English. I will never forget that day. It was not a special day. It looked like any other day in the garage. The sun was hot, and the sounds of tools and cars filled the air. I was cleaning the floor, listening quietly as the owner's children spoke English with their teacher on the phone. Usually, I heard just small pieces, a word here, a sentence there. But that day, something was different. They spoke clearly, slowly. And I understood not just one word, but a whole sentence. For the first time, I understood English fully. The children said, "We will go to the park after school." I repeated the sentence in my mind. Slowly, slowly. I thought, yes. I know these words. I know the meaning. I smiled inside. My heart beat faster. It was like a light turned on in the dark. Before that day, English was like a puzzle with missing pieces. I had many words, but I did not know how to put them together. I heard the words, but I did not understand the meaning. I tried to guess, but I was often wrong. I was confused and tired. But that day, the pieces fit. The words made a clear picture. I could feel the story, the meaning, the feeling. It was not easy to get there. I listened every day. I repeated every word in my head. I practiced alone. I made many mistakes. I was patient. I was stubborn. That small moment gave me hope. It told me, "You can do this. You are learning. Keep going." After that, I understood more and more. I began to understand what people said on the radio. I began to understand English songs on the market. I began to understand simple stories in books even if I still needed a dictionary. My confidence grew. I started to speak more. I started to read more. I started to dream bigger. It was not magic. It was hard work. But it was a moment that changed my life. I want you to remember this. Sometimes, big changes start with small moments. A word. A sentence. A feeling. And when you understand just one sentence clearly, your whole world can change. That day was the day I knew English was no longer a mystery. English was my future. Chapter 10. Now, I teach English to children. After many years of hard work, I changed. I am not the boy from the train station anymore. I am not the boy who listened quietly from the garage corner. I am a teacher now. I teach English to children like me, children with big dreams but small chances. I remember how hard it was to learn English without books or teachers. I remember how I felt alone and afraid. That is why I want to help others. Every day, I stand in front of my students with a smile. I tell them, "You can do it. You can learn English." I use simple words. I speak slowly. I understand their struggles because I live them. I teach in a small classroom. The walls are not fancy. The chairs are old. But the children's eyes are bright. They listen carefully. They ask many questions. Sometimes they make mistakes. But I smile and say, "It's okay. Keep trying." Teaching is not easy. Sometimes I feel tired. Sometimes the children get tired too. But when I see a child say a new word, or read a sentence correctly, my heart fills with joy. It is the same joy I felt when I understood my first English sentence. I tell my students, English can change your life. It changed mine. I want them to dream big, to never give up. I want them to know that no matter where they come from, they can learn. They can grow. They can succeed. Sometimes, parents come to me and say, "Thank you. You help our children." Their words make me proud.
They remind me of my own mother, who never gave up on me, even when life was hard. Now, I have a family, my students are like my children.
I am no longer a boy with no home.
I have a home in this classroom.
A home in their smiles. A home in my heart. My story is proof that anything is possible.
From the train station toilet, to a car garage, to a classroom. From a silent listener, to a confident teacher. From a boy with nothing, to a man with a dream fulfilled.
If you have a dream, hold it tight. Work hard. Believe in yourself. Because you can be more than you think. And remember, I am still learning every day, just like you. Chapter 11, English gave me a new life. Learning English changed everything for me.
It was not just a language.
It was a key to a new life. Before English, my days were full of struggle.
I worked hard just to survive. I begged for food with my mother.
I listened quietly.
I dreamed silently.
People didn't respect me.
They saw only my clothes, my tired eyes, my past.
But English gave me something new: hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. With English, I found jobs that I never thought I could have.
I started working in places where people spoke English.
I could understand them. I could talk to them. I felt important. English helped me travel beyond my village. I met new people.
I learned new things.
I read books that opened my mind. I watched videos that taught me about the world. Most important of all, English gave me respect. When I spoke English, people listened.
When I taught English, parents trusted me. When I dreamed in English, I believed in myself. I was no longer the boy born in a train station toilet. I was no longer the boy with a mad mother and no home. I was a man with a new life, a life full of possibilities.
English did not just change my words.
It changed my heart. It changed my future.
And I want you to know, you can change your life too.
With English, with hard work, and with dreams.
The road is not easy. It is long. But every step brings you closer. Every word you learn is a new beginning. Every sentence you speak is a victory. English gave me a new life. And it can give you one too. Chapter 12, you can learn too, even if you have nothing. I want to speak directly to you. Yes, you watching this video now. Maybe you think, I have no books. I have no teacher. I have no money. I have no time. I am not smart. I understand. I was there too. I was born in a dirty place. I had no home. My mother was sick. I had no school. No electricity. No internet. No money for lessons. Nothing. But I learned English anyway. How? Because I believed. I believed in my dream. I believed in my heart. You can believe too. Learning English is not about where you come from. It is about where you want to go. It is about taking small steps every day. It is about trying even when it is hard. It is about making mistakes and learning from them. It is about never giving up. You don't need a fancy school or expensive books. You can use your ears, your eyes, and your heart. You can listen to English on the radio. You can watch videos on your phone. You can speak with your friends, even if only a little. You can read simple books or signs. Every little step counts. Remember my story, a boy with nothing who learned English by listening to others. Who spoke slowly, who made mistakes, but kept going. Who laughed with others but believed in himself. That boy is now a teacher. He helps children learn English. He has a new life full of hope. You can be that boy too. Your dream is alive inside you. It is waiting to grow. It is waiting for your hard work. It is waiting for your courage. So start today. Speak one word. Learn one sentence. Read one page. You can do it. You are not alone. We are learning together. At Easy English Official, we believe in you. We will help you every step. Because English is for everyone. Even if you have nothing. Your dream can become real. If Sithu can learn English with nothing, so can you. If Sithu can learn English with nothing, no school, no books, no teacher, no internet, then so can you. His story is proof that your past or your situation does not decide your future. What matters most is your heart, your will, and your courage to keep going, even when it feels impossible. Sithu was a boy born in a train station toilet, with no father, and a mother who struggled with her own hardships. He had no one to teach him, no classroom to attend, and no simple way to learn English. But he never gave up. He listened carefully, practiced every day, and believed in his dream. Step by step, word by word, mistake by mistake, he built his knowledge. He turned every challenge into a lesson and every moment of laughter into strength. Now, he is a teacher who helps children learn English, giving them the hope and chance he fought so hard to find. His journey shows us all that learning English is not about having everything, it is about having determination. So, if you watch this and feel that your situation is hard, remember Sithu's story. Remember that your journey can start today, right now, with just one small step. Speak a new word. Listen to a simple sentence. Practice a phrase. Every little effort adds up. And here at Easy English Official, we are with you on every step of the way. Keep learning with us. Keep dreaming. Because your future is waiting, and English can open doors to a new life, just like it did for Sithu. Believe in yourself, work hard, and never stop. If he can do it with nothing, so can you.